Hey guys, I'm Ashley from Ashley's Content. Welcome to my channel. I just did a video on conquering self-doubt, and it made me think about where that doubt even comes from. For me, it started as a kid. I didn't feel like I was lovable or worthy unless I was achieving something. And honestly, that's why I think it's so important to breathe life into your kids so that they don't grow up doubting themselves like I did. So in my family, I didn't really hear anything positive about myself until my freshman year of high school when I brought home straight A's on a report card. That's when I started getting, I would say, recognition for the person I am. If it's even that, I think there's layers to that as well. But that's when I really started feeling like, oh, like my family loves me and they care about me. But it was because I was doing something, because I was getting good grades. That's why I was getting the recognition I was. And that made me feel like I did have to perform to get their love. So any opportunity after that, like after having that initial reaction, I felt like I had to do these things to get love from them. So like the second I could get a job, I had to get a job. I started joining sports and clubs to achieve. Granted, I mean, I also wanted to and I enjoyed these things, but I remember joining like a science club. I'm not a science person. I never have been, never will be. But I joined a science club because that's like what the smart kids were doing. I didn't feel smart, and I don't even think I was in the club very long. But I did it because I had to do something, to keep getting that recognition. I just felt like if I wasn't achieving something, then I wasn't worthy of anything. And I can see how that mindset has played out in my life with friendships, with relationships, and in my family too. I can see how it's affected me, where like in a relationship, I'm like, oh no, like don't do anything for me. Let me give to you. Let me keep doing things for you in order to feel loved. But very quickly, I did learn that even doing things to get love wasn't giving me the kind of love that I knew I deserved or that I needed or wanted. And it did make me feel like I couldn't just exist. I had to constantly prove myself in one way or another. And that, again, in my relationship is like layers on layers on layers, because I really did feel like I had to prove myself in that relationship, not only for my own expectations. But this is why, like, I really think it is important to teach your kids at a very young age that they don't have to do things to be loved. They don't have to perform for anyone to be loved. They can literally just exist to be loved. And I think kids really do need to know that they're loved for just being themselves. And so it's like, if they are into science, don't take that away from them. Show them that because they're into science, that's great. And you take interest in that as well, because that's what they're interested in. And that shows that you love them. If they're interested in sports, I'm not a sports person, but if I ever have a kid, I will be interested in whatever sport they're interested in, because I want that kid to know that I support them and I love them. And again, I don't have kids. I'm not a parent, but these are just things that I have thought about in my life that, like, if I do have kids, I want to give them what I didn't have, and that is someone just loving me for me. And also think about like the words of encouragement that you're giving them. Tell your kids that you're proud of them, because those things will stick with them forever. And lack of hearing it will also stick with them forever. Tell your kids positive things. Tell them you love them, because again, how does a kid know that you love them if you don't tell them? I know people say like love is a verb, and you could also do things for them to show you love them. But I don't know the science behind it, so don't like really like quote me on this. But like there's a period in life where if kids don't hear you saying things, I want to say it's like maybe up to the age of 8 or something. But that is how like their mind is going to be set or framed for shaped, whatever word. That will be their mindset for years to come. If you don't tell your kid that you love them at a young age, they will later in life think that you don't love them. So it's kind of crazy. It's science. Again, science. I don't know, but very important. And like kids don't just know things. So you have to think about that. Like you have to mold kids. You have to share things with them. Like they won't just know. So if you're not telling them, again, I'm proud of you, I love you, they won't know if you're not telling them. Kids don't pick up on stuff like that. But even as adults, like, people still need to hear it. So now as an adult, I am unlearning the idea that love is something that has to be earned and teaching myself that I'm enough, whether I'm succeeding or failing or just being. I'm enough. And again, if I ever have kids or if I'm ever around kids, I want to ensure that, like, they know the same, that they are enough by just being who they are. If there's a kid in your life, if it's your own, a niece, a nephew, a cousin, someone you coach, a neighbor, whatever, breathe life into them. Show them that you love them, that you're interested in them for who they are and not for something that they can do for you. Because the words that we say to these kids can literally shape their world and their future. That's all I have. Thank you for listening to me. Please like and subscribe and tell me how you're breathing life into your kids, or tell me about your experiences as a child and like how it's affected you and like what you're learning now to like breathe life into yourself.